The story begins with a narrator, or Eleanor, setting the tone. The small coastal village of Blackwater Bay is steeped in mystery. Fog rolls in like a living entity, and sailors always return with stories of strange sightings in the moonlight. The most terrifying tale of all, however, is that of the Phantom Mare, a ghost ship that is said to sail once every full moon, with its cursed crew searching for new souls to join their ranks. In Blackwater Bay, the ship is a myth, or so it's believed. People whisper of an ancient witch who cursed the ship and its crew after they betrayed her. The legend states that every full moon, the ship appears, pulling sailors into the dark depths to replace the souls lost. The story shifts to Eleanor, a researcher with a fascination for maritime legends. She finds the old letter, a worn piece of parchment that speaks of the Phantom Mare and the curse that binds it. The letter is accompanied by a map, its edges frayed with time, pointing to a location deep in the Atlantic Ocean. Eleanor's curiosity is piqued. She believes the ship's treasure holds the key to understanding its dark past. Eleanor contacts her brother Daniel, who is a seasoned sailor and a skeptic when it comes to such legends. He agrees reluctantly to join her on an adventure, though he warns that such superstitions are just that, stories to scare children. She also enlists Claire, a close friend who has always supported Eleanor's outlandish pursuits. The trio prepares for their journey, dismissing local warnings as mere folklore. They board a small boat, setting sail on the night of the full moon. As they sail deeper into the Atlantic, the sea seems unnervingly still. The moonlight is sharp, casting an eerie glow over the water. The air grows colder with each passing hour. Strange things begin to happen. Eleanor hears whispers on the wind, voices that call her name from the depths of the sea. Claire's compass spins erratically, as if trying to point in every direction at once. Daniel notices that the sea is unnaturally quiet, with no sounds of waves crashing or birds flying. The tension builds as the boat drifts further from shore, and they find themselves enveloped in a dense fog. As the fog thickens, the trio begins to see the outline of a massive ship emerging from the mist. At first, they think it's a trick of the light, but as they approach, it becomes clear that they are staring at the Phantom Mare. The ship is enormous, with tattered sails that seem to move in an unnatural breeze. The hull is covered in rot, but a faint, eerie glow emanates from the cracks. The crew of the ghost ship is nowhere to be seen, but an overwhelming sense of dread fills the air. The trio boards the ship, unable to resist the pull of the mystery. They find themselves stepping onto a vessel frozen in time. The deck is littered with old, rusted tools. The mast is broken, but somehow it still stands tall, as if awaiting orders. Skeletons of long-dead sailors are shackled to the ship's wheel, their empty eyes staring ahead into the void. Daniel urges them to turn back, but Eleanor is drawn toward the captain's quarters. Inside, they find an ancient logbook that details the ship's tragic history. It reveals that the ship's crew had once been a group of ruthless pirates who, after betraying a powerful witch, were cursed to sail the seas for eternity. They stole her treasure, and in doing so, sealed their fate. The curse is explained in more detail. Each full moon, the ship appears, seeking new souls to join its crew. The ship can't be destroyed. It's simply a vessel for the souls trapped within it, always bound to the sea. As the trio reads the logbook, strange things begin to happen. The air grows colder, the whispers grow louder, and shadows begin to move across the walls. The cursed crew, or rather, their ghosts, start to awaken. Eleanor stumbles upon a chest that seems to glow faintly. Inside, there's a strange relic, an amulet with symbols she doesn't understand. Claire hears someone behind her, only to turn and find no one there. But the ship's creaking and groaning intensify, as though it's alive. Daniel encounters the ghostly captain, who warns him, turn back or join the crew. The captain's voice is hollow, filled with malice. The crew of the ship begins to materialize, skeletal figures in tattered clothing, their eyes glowing with an otherworldly light. They move in a trance-like state, walking through walls and objects, as if bound to the ship by an invisible force. Daniel, Claire, and Eleanor realize they have no way to escape. The ship itself seems to shift and change, locking them in. It is a labyrinth of corridors, each one more confounding than the last. Time itself seems to bend and warp, with the trio reliving moments from the ship's history, experiencing the crew's mutiny and feeling the witch's wrath. Desperate, Eleanor recalls the witch's curse and believes there may be a way to break it by returning the treasure that was stolen. She races to the captain's quarters, where the final, most ancient part of the ship's log is hidden. Inside, she finds the witch's grimoire, a book of spells with a passage that describes a ritual to lift the curse. But before she can perform the ritual, the ghostly captain intercepts her, and a fight ensues. The captain, now a terrifying entity of darkness, reveals his true form, half human, half skeletal, with burning eyes that pierce Eleanor's soul. "You can't stop the curse," he sneers. It will claim you, just as it claimed them. Claire and Daniel manage to hold off the ghostly crew long enough for Eleanor to complete the ritual. The ship trembles violently, and the cursed souls begin to rise from the deck, their faces twisted in agony. Eleanor, with trembling hands, reads the final lines of the spell. In a blinding flash of light, the ship begins to disintegrate. The cursed souls are freed, their tortured forms dissolving into light. The ship breaks apart, sinking into the depths of the ocean. Back on their boat, the trio is exhausted, but they have survived. The full moon wanes, and the sea begins to calm. The witch's journal washes up on shore with the treasure chest, but inside, there is no gold, only the journal that recounts her life and the ship's tragic story. Eleanor decides to honor the witch's memory by sharing the journal with the world. In the final scene, as the trio walks away from the beach, the faint sound of a ship's horn echoes from the distance, signaling that the legend may never truly end. The phantom mare might still be out there somewhere, waiting for the next full moon to sail again.